All right, we are here with our latest game of the week, which is Campus Legends College Basketball. It is an early release, and I have enjoyed it quite a bit. Now, it is a text-based sports sim, so college basketball, very much based on the NCAA, even though they don't call it that. There's a fictional universe that seems very much like the NCAA. And there's a national tournament at the end of the year, much like the one happening right now. It's the middle of March Madness as I'm recording this, so which is why I'm doing this as my game of the week. It's, I don't know, it's an exciting time to be watching basketball, so why not watch imaginary basketball as well? So when I say watch, this is it. This is the highlight, right? Like, if you want to watch the game, you get green dots. It tells you what's happening over here in the text thing, and it shows you, for the players who are on the court, what are they doing? I'm San Marcos State, so this is my home floor. I'm on the left here, so the green dots are baskets I made, gray ones are misses. I'm very much a defensive team, so it pleases me to see a lot of gray dots on the other team's side of the house here. This is about it, and it's one of those that's, to me, the way I play it is very much the Dynasty mode, where it's about recruiting players, watching them develop, hiring coaches, that sort of thing. I don't do a lot of trying to take control in the middle of the game. There's not a lot you can do to take control. The game just plays at this point. You can, between games, set up hey, I want a more emphasis on this guy's shooting, or I want this guy to play more minutes or less minutes, that sort of thing. I want to play a deeper bench, or not play the bench very much, focus on the starters. So you have a lot of flexibility that way, but once the game starts, the game's running. And that is fine by me, because this is, for me, going to be an always-on game. A game I sit and let run while I go do chores. I come back, see how I'm doing, smile if it looks like this, and then go back to doing chores, and then maybe at the end check the box score. So if you have a busy life, this is a fun way to play a game without actually spending a lot of time on it. It still gives me that gaming satisfaction, and I feel like this is my team, and it scratches the itch, but does so quickly so I can get back and do other things. But you could just really focus on this and read it, play by play, Kelly missed the mid-range shot, and it would show up on here where he shot from. And you could totally, here's Ramirez trying a 3-point shot. He made it from here. This is that's cool. You can watch it that way, especially, late in a very close game. Sometimes I'll speed up the game here, and it'll kind of rip through things real quick. And then it's oh, this is looking like a pretty close game. Maybe we slow this back down here and see what's going on. But usually I just kind of leave it in slow mode, and that allows me to go do something, come back 10 minutes later, and the game is advanced probably about 10 minutes as well. So, or maybe it's halftime or something like that. You can bounce out at any time, go see the box score, see how teams are doing, pick the team if you want to look at their team or your team. Then you go back here and off you go. This actually does switch to pause. That would be a request from the developer to make that a little pause button when it is paused. It just stays, even though the game's paused now, it just stays as a play button. So it's in early development. One of the reasons I did choose this one to play is because I had seen them making a lot of updates, and I like when developers support their games that way. So this was $4. So it's a nice cheap game. Overwhelmingly positive recent reviews, positive reviews overall. Kind of makes sense if you've got a game that's being recently released. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. So let's advance this thing, and I'll just kind of show you. The reporting in this is kind of, I'm a stats guy. I'm a former CPA, so I dig the stats side of the house on this. What I really love is the player development and player recruiting. You can watch some of my play videos, sort of let's play style stuff. But if I go back and I can look at some of the different reports out here and look at my roster and see what I think about them. It gives me some high level stuff over here. So green means I'm pretty good at it. and then, brown and red mean I'm not very good at it. Here's my key players. What is exciting about this team is there's a lot of good freshmen. So this is sorted by their overall ability at the moment, and then there's potential over here. If you look at the overall ability, I got 4 freshmen that I recruited with this class that are starting. That's fun, right? Like, I feel like I got my class, and there is a transfer portal in this game, so you will lose players to that. That's why it's kind of nice to have multiple good players out there. You've got your staff, just basic stuff you'd expect, schedule, different statistics, some history for your teams. Now, this is a new universe, so there's not a lot of history out there. This was a team that went 6-25 last year. Well, only one game in conference. That's why they were looking for a new coach. And hey, that's me. I started with Coppin State, and now I am over here with San Marcos State, which is kind of the one. I started another universe with San Marcos State, so I kind of have a sweet spot for them. Plus, I kind of like the colors. So this is my team that I chose to take over. Ironically, I chose to take it over because it was a young team. So you'll see like a lot of juniors and sophomores that were freshmen and sophomores when I took over the team. And then I bought a bunch of freshmen that were better, and they're the ones playing. So there you go. Careful what you ask for. You can, set your game plan, like how many minutes people should be playing. You can go into the, offensive priority. How fast do you want to play? Are you shooting from the outside or the inside? There's like, who are your starters? You don't have to play 2 guards, 2 forwards, a center. That's kind of the default. But I had a version of this where I only had 1 guard who was halfway decent, and I had 4 centers who could have probably started. So I went 2 center, 2 forward, 1 guard. It was fine. I won more games than they had the year before or what was expected of me. So neat stuff. I encourage you to watch some of the gameplay videos if you want to learn like a little more about how the recruiting works and that sort of thing. But in terms of my weekly review, it's not S tier because it's not jaw-dropping, like, whoa, this is new and cool. It does sports sim well. What I love about it is that you've got your season and you focus on the season, and then you do your recruiting after the season. Now, that may not be realistic, but it is the way I want to do things. I want to focus on this team, and then, the odds of this team winning the national title are minute. I would say nil. And so I'm going to, be like, oh, how do I make the team better? Well, then I get to go do my recruiting. Cool. Now I recruit some cool new players and coaches. Well, now I want to see them play. So I'm back in the play mode. And I like that division between the recruiting and the current season, even if it's not realistic. It's more fun to play that way. The level of detail in this feels about right to me. It's like, I feel like I'm totally in control and can set this team and make it my own, but I don't have to micromanage everything. So it's really nice that way. So I'm going to give this an A. To me, this is an A. Now, usually A and B are games that I like to play and want to play more of. C and D are like, it's not really, I bounced off it a little bit. It's not my style. Usually I differentiate like production value between like a C and a D. A and B is usually more about how much I enjoy them, but even production value, like, this is a fairly visually appealing game for its genre being text-based sports sims. You got to factor that in, right? So while it's not phenomenal, like in terms of what you're seeing, the data is there that I want. I'm a data guy. I like that. The games are kind of fun to watch. I mostly just kind of pop in and out and check on them. But it works for what I am looking for. So for me, this is an A. Even in this early development stage, can't wait to see where they go with the development. But they're off to a fantastic start. So I'm going to give it an A. All right. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy this kind of material, meaning the weekly reviews. And then... And comment if there's other sports sims you'd like me to try. I am fond of the genre. I'm not really a Madden guy where you're like actually, doing the juking yourself. I like the Dynasty mode and the coaching general manager kind of focus. but this is a really good one for that. So like, comment, subscribe, all help the channel. All are much appreciated. And yeah, have a great day, great life, play great games. This qualifies.